you pioneers out there, Commander Kingfish here, and I am back in Satisfactory 1.0. Well, we have been making progress, I think. I have managed to get a lot more stuff up on the second tier, and I have been able to clean up my spaghetti factory, as I want to call them. So you can see that everything that was down here, all of that spaghetti, everything just didn't make much sense. I still got a little bit to clean up, and I'll continue to work on that. This is the smart plates, and honestly, and then I've got to put in a rotor processing facility or assembly line, and then same with the smart plates. But I'm not sure how much I'll be using those again. So I haven't put a lot of effort into getting those done right now. I did get that ore, that iron ore, going over there. So that is being processed and going around through there. So I've managed to shut these down. I also have gotten iron ore, and we'll go up top side to look at that. But you can see where the iron ore is going in and around here. So it is in pretty good shape. That docking station is going to go. I think it's full of rubber, though. So I'll have to get that all moved out. Let's see. Yeah, it's chock full of rubber. So right now it's just sitting there as a storage unit for me. And I did shut down the other docking station and the other tractor, so I've got it up above. So we've got all of this ore coming in. Let's go up above, and I can show you what I've got going on up there. Made a lot of progress, and the exciting news is that bauxite. We'll be talking about bauxite later here, and once I get done showing you everything. So I have really picked up my iron production up here. Of course, that's all copper, and so that is in pretty good shape, and that's producing what I need. This is, I got all my reinforced iron plates being produced here. So I've got two factions of those coming through. They're making screws, and then I've got modular frames being produced right here. So you can see that we've got those built up. And those I will need for my heavy modular frames that I'm not sure how much I'll need those. So when I get back to that point of being able to need those, I will certainly get those set up. But I got iron rods being produced here. These iron rods are going in and producing the heavy or the modular frames, and I've got additional screws being produced here. So these are getting filled up, and we're going to have more than enough screws as we need them. So you can see I've got, if we kind of fly up here, I've got one line of iron ore coming in from there, and then I've got two of them down there coming in. So that's looking pretty good. And then I've got plenty more nodes that I can bring over as I can ramp up my production. So this is over here into the steel works, and I think I had these done yesterday or the last episode. And then what I've got going now is, well, you can see these are the versatile frameworks. I've put that in, and what that is producing is going into and producing these magnetic field generator. That's the second item on the phase 4 of the objective. So they're being produced in the assembler, which I was kind of surprised, being it's a phase 4 item, that it wasn't being produced down in one of the manufacturers. But it's got the electromagnetic control rods and then the versatile frames. And I've got the control rods. Let's see, where did I put those? Yeah, they're right here. So those are being produced right here. and they take stators and the AI limiters. I had that in, and I think I had that in as well. But as you can see, that is producing at 100%. So that's most of the stuff up above up here that I've gotten done. So I've made a lot of good progress up here. And you saw the spaghetti factory where the iron was at. And if we, let's just take a quick flight and run up here. There we go. Flying some more. See how far we can get. But this is where I've got more iron ore coming in. I put this in out here. And in order to get those in and away from the clipping there, I had to put those out on I had to build up a stand or something. Matter of fact, while we're here, I need to go ahead and fill this in. And let's see if we can also finish this out. Oh, I think that's going to work perfectly. There we go. There, now it's just not disappearing through the floor. And I think, there we go. I think that looks pretty good. There we go. All right. So that's finished up. So let's go up above here and you can kind of see I've got a little bit left up here, but not too much anymore. I've got these items right here that was being produced. I'm not sure where I'm going to need those again. So I will build another assembly line for those at some point. But my steel, I have the steel ingots being produced up here, and those are going over to the steel factory. I just left that structure in place. So I've got to take out all of this stuff. This is going to go. So you can kind of see that the this coal line will go. I had that in there keeping fuel into the tractor. I think I might have emptied. I did. This was all frames that are now being produced over there. So I just took those over and put those in as part of the stockpile. So this is working pretty well. I've got these being produced and being sent off over to the main factory. And so I just left this structure in here. There really wasn't any reason to take this down, I don't think. And it was working pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with the way that is all set up now. This manufacturer will go. I think this is loaded with screws, so I'm probably going to have to empty this out, and I will do that when I have a few moments. So this is getting all cleared out up here too. So my spaghetti factories are ever so slowly going away. So let's run on back. And so now the fun part. You're going to, I don't know if it'd be amazed or scratch your head or whatever you want to think about it, but I have started getting the bauxite processing in place. So first off, I'm going to show you what, this is where the first items are being produced. Let's take a look. I don't know, we're real close to having these assembly director systems completed, the 500 that I need. We only need another 11, so those might be done, and then we can move those over so that we can at least look like we're getting something done on that phase 4 objective. So that's all being produced down here out of the manufacturer. All right, so let's go grab the tractor over here, and you'll be able to see So I've added some more platform here so that I can continue to build that out for those assembly lines up above. All right. And let's haul butt over here. So I have built this out. And we can stop right here. Matter of fact, let me do a couple of these. I always like doing this stuff a little bit at a time. So let's we'll just kind of fill this section in. We'll hop down here first. So my electricity for up where the bauxite is, I ran those over, and you can kind of see where the node is right there. Actually, if I do this, you can kind of see it right there. And that's running over underneath the platform. And so it's keeping that electrical system a bit more organized. All right, so let's, we should be able to hop back up here now. Now let's go ahead and finish zooping this out. Let's put it in zoop mode though. All right, so we can do that, that. I can fill this in pretty quickly, as you can see. I'll get that one later. All right, so that's the power going up. I used the large tower platforms to help. I was hoping to go from that rock all the way up, but it was just a little too far, so I was able to go from there to there, then up. So I zooped in some ramps. So we'll come up here. I think, actually, I think we need to get rid. Yeah, there they come. Yeah, one of them got me. There's going to be another one. All right. That all of them? All right, well, let's eat a little burl nut here. I don't know. There could be some more. I was hoping that typically once you build out, they quit spawning, but looks like that one has a mind of its own. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. All right. So that tower there, if we kind of come up here, and this bauxite node was a little bit closer than the ones that I had found before. Matter of fact, as soon as you get up here, I don't think there was any hazards here. Oh, shoot. You know what? I need to run back down. I was saving it. There was a wreck up here. So let's run back and throw this hard drive in so that it can be working away while we are up here. We'll just run back. Probably get there just as quick. So yeah, there was a wreck up there, and it really didn't require much. It was functioning and everything, so all I had to do was just pull the hard drive in it. And I think that hard drive is over here in the box. Let's grab it. It should be right there. So we'll see if we can get another alternative recipe out of this. Hard drives. Let's scan that hard drive. All right. All right, that'll be done once we get back over here, probably closer to the end of the video. All right, now let's get up topside. First off, let me show you the map. And if we look at right here, that's limestone. So this is the bauxite node that I found today. The other bauxite nodes were way over here. That's uranium, and then that's bauxite right there. And so that, you can kind of see, I ended up coming in through this way to get to that. I came up through here and then had to cross over. That was quite the challenge to get up and into there. Anyway, so this bauxite was a lot closer, so I was able to kind of work with it, and that's where that's at. That's along that upper rock bridge up there. All right. So the challenge, as you can see, was getting up there and then getting the bauxite down from up there. And I typically like to try to figure out a different way, but there was just no way I was going to be able to find a way that I could conveniently get up and down and be able to pull the bauxite down. That wreck was right up there, and we'll see it when we walk over there. So there were some critters up here. I had to deal with them. I don't know if we probably better be ready. They might come back. Who knows? No, I don't see anything bouncing around up here. There was a couple of, I call them tuskers. So I had to build a little platform to get up and on, and I was able to take them out with Noblifts and the rebar gun. And then there was a couple of the spitters up here. But here is the bauxite, and you can kind of see that it's pure. So I've got an MK2 miner up here. And the reason it's not flowing right now is just I don't have it hooked up at the far end. And that's one of the things we're going to be working on today, is trying to get the refinery set up. But this is the view from up here. As you can see, we are a long ways off. That's where the oil is out there, that platform. Might be something else out over there. I can't tell. And it looks like there's another wreck over on top of that. So probably we'll be doing some exploring to get over there at some point. And so that's a kind of a little bit different type of eco environment up there. So we'll see what that looks like at some point. Anyway, so this mine is finally getting my bauxite down there. And I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I had to put a little bit of a platform out and then use the lifts to take the bauxite down, to get it down. So let's we can just let me back up a little bit here, and then we can just kind of cruise on down. So you can see the lift coming down. I had to put two of them in to get it down through this first level, and then run this over, and top up here. Uh-oh, we got trouble. We got lots of trouble. Uh-oh. Let me take one of these out first. Oh. Uh-oh. Well, let's eat some burl nuts. Those fireflies. Gotta watch out for those fireflies. Alright. Let's get this back. We got one of them out of the way. Alright. And, oh. Alright. Let's do this. We won't worry too much. Let's see if we can get this guy out of the way. All right. Now I've had enough of you. There we go. All right. All right. More beasties. Let's grab this stuff. So yeah, this was the wrecked drone up here, and I think I got everything gathered up. Looked at that a few times. Not necessarily planning that I have to be up here very often, so I'm not too worried about those critters. But I ran the conveyor system over. Well, better be careful. You want to take a run at this because it's a separate spire. And so I had to put another platform out and use the lifts to get it all the way down. So you can kind of see on each side here, looking down. Heck of a view from up here. So we're going to just jump down. That's one of the things about having a jetpack. You can just kind of gently bring yourself down. You don't have to climb all the way down from up there. And so I brought the conveyor system down. And so the next thing I needed to do, and that's what we're going to do today, is start to get the refinery set up. And so I've got to bring up water. But I first thought I would bring over the bauxite. And so I wanted to put in a splitter right here. Well, let's do that. I'm going to need to put in the fluid buffers, but let's get the splitter in. And if we turn that like that, I think that's exactly where we want it. Actually, you know what? I think I messed up. Let's take that out. I think I need it to be a little bit closer here. Now let me think about this, because I've got to put a conveyor system in. See that? I don't like the way these are set up because it creates a problem. Actually, you know what I was going to do? Now that I think about it, I was going to put my splitter down underneath. So I need to conveyor over, and I need to put that splitter in, and then we'll put lifts in for each of these. So if we take this out so that we can see what we're doing, and then we take this out, then we should be able to know, because we'll put that splitter in underneath here. So let's go see if we can start conveying those things over. So we need to get the conveyor over to this point, and I think what I'm going to do is put a marker in. We go 7 and we put that right there. What I think will end up happening is I'll end up bringing the conveyor line right to there, and then I'll be able to put the splitter in right there, and then they'll come out and up and over. All right. Research is done. Well, we'll get to that at some point. And so our conveyor system got to come over from over here. So if we do this, that's got to, I want to keep that as so. There we go. keep hearing noises. All right, where are we at here? So we're going to want to come over to this. Again, we're going to put a marker in. I think we need that conveyor to come in over here. And we're coming in on this, along this row right here. So if we put this marker about, I think right there will be good. And then we can just run that conveyor right directly into it. And so let's see if we can bring that down straight. That ought to be good. Now let's use the straight and click that in and see if we can bring that over to there. All right, that's a nice angle. All right, so let's come up here. I like being able to put these conveyors down here on the bottom. So if we do this, hopefully this will, oh, we need to change that back to default. And up, of course. All right, let's get it straight. And let's back this up just a little bit. Okay, I think we're good right there. Let's go ahead and put that into there. All right. Now, if my plan works, I should be able to... Oh. You know what? I need to... That one that I ran into wasn't exactly... Let's change this up a little bit. It just... I'm particular. Come on. Right there, it's lined up. So if we bring this just a little bit farther out to there, then that should be lined up. So now let's try this again. There we go. Oh, nope, right there. All right, now let's see if this will work. I need to put that splitter in there. And I think that's... We just leave that like that. All right. Now, I need to... All right, I think if we go right here... Oh. I probably... You know what? All right, let's do this. I should have put these in first. Where are they at? Right here. My conveyor lifts. So let's do the reversed. And then bring that down there like that. All right. And that's in reverse mode already. So those are straight across. So we need to put that, we need to move this. And let's get back into Q. Grab the splitter. All right. See if that should tell me when that is lined right. right there. All right. I think this is going to work out pretty good, actually. All right, so that into there. Put that over to there. So now we should have bauxite going in. And I wonder if I can take this. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully this doesn't turn into a disaster. I think that worked out. All right. So that should, all right, we can go up above, and we're going to have to do that. Let's see, the easiest way to get up above. Probably right over here. All right. Okay, and we can go ahead and fix this while we're here. All right, let's do that. Run off the edge. Okay. And I'll probably have to put holes in on the bottom, and I can do that. But we've got that coming into here now. All right, let's. Now I think we're going to need to get water. Well, this is what we're doing. We're doing the alumina solution, so let's select that. And it's going to create silica and then the aluminum solution. So it's going to take buffers out front. Well, I should be able to plug these holes up now, I think. Let's go ahead and do that. All right. So we've got the bauxite over to here. So the next thing that has to be done is we've got to put in water pumps. And it says that these needs at least 180 per minute. And I think these water pumps pump a maximum of, that's under production. It says these 120. So I'm thinking it's going to take 2 for each refinery. And I only put the materials in for, I always hit the wrong. So I'm thinking that we're going to need, all right, let's do this. Logistics, pipeline support. I think that should be fairly straight right there. Because we should be able to just bring the pipe straight up to here and straight into there. And that, yeah. And we'll do the same thing over here. All right, right along that line right there. Okay. So that gives us something to shoot for. All right, well, back down we go. So I need to put 4 in. Let's get into production. Hopefully I got enough stuff on me. Go out over here. Ah. Alright, I was kind of afraid of that. You know what we're going to do? Let's do this first. Let's kind of build these across. And we can build this out. If that's enough. Then we'll build that across to there. All right, this way we can walk along here, and I've got to do this. It'll drive me crazy if I don't. All right, I think everything else is not clipping through. Oh, wrong button again. Okay. So I need to put 4 of them in. And this should be in line. Don't step off. Oh, hit the right button. Okay. All right. Put. I think that's going to work. All right, there's one. And let's see if we can get this lined up. There's 2. Hope I got room for all. I think I do. There's 3. Perfect. And come on, line up, line up. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna have to bring in. So let's see if we put. Oh man. All right, let's see if I didn't screw up. Okay, there we go. That will work. Wonder if we can. Oh, beautiful. I think that's going to work. There could be a little bit of clipping with the pipes because I needed to have it have enough room up there. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Let's put these in again. There's no reason not to. Let's take these out. We can move those back a little bit. And let's do this. Let's finish. You know, we might as well make it look good. Got nothing but time. And then I think what I want to do is put and run this out just a little bit. All right, now let's try this all over again. Grab our, get down here. out. Make sure we have plenty of room. All right, so there's that one. Come on, line up. Why aren't you lining up? Come on. That one. That one. Hopefully this is just... And we're going to have to take these out. These are going to have to go a little bit farther. All right. We'll get it in. Ever so slowly. All right. There we go. Now if I want that outside in, got to go one more out. All right. That'll work. That will work. Okay, now we're going to need to put in this, grab into our logistics, our pipeline support. I think we need to put one in kind of right there. And I think we need to put one down here. We're about right. I think about right there. All right. Now let's go and grab our T-junction. I think we can put that right there. Perfect. Okay. Put, you go right there. Is that right? Come on. Get you from the side here. Right there. Okay, so that'll allow these to come up. So let's get our pipe. And I think we can just be able to bring those up like that. Bring this one up like that. And we're going to end up, this one's going to be on an angle. Not much I can do about that. That'll work. And then we'll be able to put our pumps in there. This one up to there. That one right into there. This one's actually going to be almost straight up. All right. Now, I think we only need one pump. That's going the opposite way. There we go. And I think we put that right there. Have that into place. That right about there. Okay, we need electricity down here, and we should be able to just run it over. We should have something over here. If we... And I'll fancy that side up. I'll put steps and stuff in over there. But we are really using a lot of time today. Okay, so let's put some power poles in here. I think we should be able to put one in about right there. And let's... Oh, of course. We got one that... Yeah, over to there. There we go. And let's see if we can't put a power pole. Let's see, that's going to come down right. Actually, you know what I can do? And here's what I'm going to do. We do this. One there. I'm going to run down here. And let's just put one on this one right here. All right, you should be able to connect that up to there. We'll do this one up to there. There we go. And this should give us enough connections. That one's online. And that one's online. And this should give us... So that pump should be online. All right. Oop. Okay, that one's working. Okay. All right, we're getting water up there. I hope it's enough. If I was reading the numbers right. All right, let's get this one up and online. There. There. And there. All right, that's should be pumping plenty of water up. And there it's starting to go into there. And that pump should be coming online shortly. There it goes. All right. Well, let's get back up top side. I think I actually might have a ladder over here. I should anyway. And again, maybe not. All right, let's just run over here because I know I can get up above if I didn't put a wall up in my way, which I did, it looks like. That's okay. There we go. All right. Let's cruise around to the other side. These things have been pumping and everything seems to be working pretty steady, so I'm pretty happy with the packaged oil coming over. That seems to be working pretty well. Okay, now let's get these pipes hooked up and then we'll get some power to these things. All right. And Missing coppers. Oh. All right. Let's go grab some copper sheets and we can check on that hard drive that finished. And we'll grab the copper sheets. I really wanted to at least get that up. We probably won't get the buffers in and stuff and all of that. And we'll do that in the next episode. But let's go grab the copper sheets and at least make sure that it is going to work. And I think I should have some copper sheets stashed over here if I haven't put them all into the awesome sink. All right. Where would they be? Pipes, heavy frames. Nope. Well, you know what? I know where they're at. They were... I'm gonna have to run over here. Oh. Hard drive. Hard drive. Over here. Let's see what we got. Alright, confirm. 6 inventory slots, an alternate superstate computer. This is good. Or the alternate superstate computer. So that takes computers, that takes batteries. I don't have anything on the batteries. You know, I'm gonna go for the inventory slots. I can use those. Select the reward. Inflated pockets. Ah, look at that. Now I can carry even more crud. Okay. Get over here. We should have copper sheets right down here at the end. Or pretty close. Copper is down on this end anyway. Let's see, where are they? I don't have these guys labeled down here. I swear I thought I did. Cable. Oh, I do. They're down below. Well, those aren't. That's wire. There we go. Copper sheets right here. Let's grab a couple of these. That should be more than enough. All right, let's get those refineries online. Oh, I'm flying. Where's the tractor? Right below me. We want to drive. We don't want to craft. All right, let's get back over there. Okay. All right, let's hop out right here. All right, let's try this again. Okay, there's that one. What happened? I lost it. All right. There's that one. Now we just need to get electricity over here. Oh, this is... got water flow rate. And let's see. I need to put in a couple of more walls down here. Let's bring that down to there. Oh, you know what I could have done? A little late now. I actually got I used some coupons and got the wall hole for pipes, so I could have put that in there. All right, so let's put that right there. And we are going to want to run the electricity along the wall if I can. Yeah, let's put it right there. I think then that we can put one right there. And we should be able to connect to that. No. We should be able to. Oh, okay. We are going to do it this way. 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we could run it right there. We should be able to connect that down to there. And we'll do one right here. And there we go. Yeah, it keeps wanting to do those. We should be able to get it down to this corner here. There. And one there. 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 Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, right here is pretty good, I think. 1. And let's put it in the middle. And then we got that one in over there, so down there, over to there. All right, we should be able to grab one and hook it up right there. And then we should be able to put that one right there. And let's see if things are working. Let's see if it is making what I need it to make. It's making alumina solution and it's making silica. This is what we really need so that we can make our aluminum ingots. So that is what I'm going to be working on next, is to get I'm going to get the buffer tanks and stuff like that. So we've already been going just an hour, so I think it's about time to wrap this up. Got quite a bit done today. I've managed to finally get bauxite. That's been bugging me because on that milestone, everything on that milestone except for the 3000 copper wire takes aluminum. And so now we can finally start producing the aluminum that we need. And it looks like I can see the conveyor systems working. And let's just take another peek here. And they are filling up. So they're going to come to a stop just because I don't have any of the storage hooked up. All right. Well, we got a hard drive done. I got more stuff done over there on the steel and the iron and stuff like that. So we are kind of progressing along. Maybe at some point we will actually get phase 4 done. But first off, we got to get that milestone, I think, to get the next blueprints for those last 2 items on phase 4, and who knows what that's going to take. So, all right, all you pioneers out there, if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up. It really does help out the video. And please subscribe. That'll really help out the channel. Okay, keep those efficient assembly lines processing so Ada will stay happy. And with that, Commander Kingfish is out of here, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.